Wednesday, March 20th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Spring officially arrives this morning, but we do not have a lot of spring-like temperatures in the forecast at all. And I think we're looking at a lot of well below average temperatures for the majority of the rest of the month, and maybe even rather into the first few days of April. But let's focus on yesterday, and then we'll go into the future. We had a pretty nice day with highs in the 60s. That wedge eroded away very, very effectively very early in the day yesterday. And so we had a lot of 60s, even some 70s when you got down toward the Sandhills and the coast and down into South Carolina. Pretty nice day overall yesterday. This morning is pretty cool. 43 in Greensboro and Charlotte, 44 in Raleigh. You have some 30s, even some 20s mixed in near the Virginia border. 30s in the mountains as we speak. A little bit of activity on the radar here. Parts of Rowan County, Davidson County, Davie County, Iredell County, a lot of that is not making it to the ground. The air mass is very dry. We have some dew point temperatures in the single digits, meaning the air is indeed very, very dry. Off into the northeastern parts of the country, you have a few snow showers, parts of Pennsylvania, New York, and then further northeast into Maine with the departing system. And you have some showers and a few thunderstorms down into Louisiana and Texas this morning with the next little piece of energy rippling in the upper level flow. Now, here's your current temperatures. This is the previous shot of cold air. Mount Washington still at 3 degrees. Saranac Lake, New York at 20. But here comes the fresh surge of cold air. Some sub-zero temperatures in parts of the northern plains. And that is dropping to the southeast. In the meantime, it's fairly chilly, but nothing overly brutal about it. Again, a lot of temperatures during the 5 o'clock hour in the 30s and 40s here across the region. Now, let me flip over and show you Stormcast. You'll see highs today in the 50s, but tomorrow, boy, it's going to be a cold day tomorrow. And it's going to be a struggle to get places like Greensboro into the low 40s, maybe mid 40s in Raleigh and Charlotte, but certainly a chilly, chilly day, and it's going to be pretty cool for Friday, although not quite as cold as what we'll see tomorrow. Here's what's happening. Today, a partly sunny sky. We have a little trough that'll swing in tonight, and as that energy moves through, there could be a few, certainly some mountain snows, but certainly in the Piedmont, the chance is there of at least a couple of showers, maybe a few snowflakes mixed in, but I don't think that's going to be a big deal. And then as we head on into tomorrow, the cold air will take over. All right, so here's what's happening with some of the modeling. Let's start with the European. And this is this afternoon, big vortex over southeastern Canada and the Great Lakes and the northeastern part of the United States. Now let's kind of fast forward to late in the weekend. This is 114 hours, so this is Sunday early afternoon. This is the most recent run of the European, the 0Z run. And you notice this piece of energy right there moving through the Ozarks. Now, that's what it looks like, again, on the most recent run. Let me go to the previous, actually 2 runs ago, the 24-hour ago run of the European, the 0Z Tuesday run, and you'll notice that piece of energy was much, much stronger sitting there over the Ozarks. And again, that's a much weaker look with the overall piece of energy there with the most recent run. Now, let's stay with the current run of the European. This is what it looks like for Monday morning. And again, let's compare that with the run 24 hours ago, and that was a much more intense system sitting over parts of Kentucky. So what you wind up with at the surface is some differences with how this unfolds on the latest operational European. Now again, first of all, today, that's what we look like. As we get on into tomorrow, there's your cold air. These are some really cold thickness values, and it's going to be a very chilly March day. So the first full day of spring is going to be a cold one across the region. All right, now we get out into Friday nights, and you notice some rain breaking out over Alabama, Mississippi, and South Carolina, trying to spread up into southern North Carolina. Then we go out to 108 hours on the European, and this is Sunday morning. And so that's what we look like, and then we go out to 126 hours, and you have one low pressure moving from Kentucky into West Virginia and trying to get some semblance of a coastal low going that finally develops on the operational run off the Virginia coast by Monday early in the afternoon. Now what's interesting is, let me go to the ensemble mean of the European, and this is a much chillier kind of wintry look here. This is valid Sunday morning, and again, this is the mean of all the various ensemble members of the European. And so what you have here is one low pressure sitting right here, some semblance of a low trying to pop right there as well. Very well defined cold air damming signature as well. And then you go out to 120 hours, and that's really more of a classic Miller B type look with a weakening or a weak low here near the Appalachians, a coastal low going as well. The the ensemble mean rather, tried to stick with the same general idea that the previous run to the operational European had, and I'll show you what the WPC is showing. They're going with that Miller B scenario as well. This is Sunday morning, but by the time you get out to Monday morning, weakening primary low, the coastal low taking over. And that's much the same as what some of the earlier modeling, especially on the European, had indicated. Now let me show you what's happening on the GFS. Now this is the GFS at 114 hours. It's much further northwest with the upper level energy. And so on the GFS, you wind up with this type of scenario. This is 108 hours rather on the operational GFS. That main low sitting up way up northwest over the Midwest, and out at 126 hours, you don't ever really get any coastal low developing at all. So certainly interesting. Let me show you the GFS ensemble mean, and notice it is with that Miller B type scenario as well. The ensemble mean of the GFS looks actually pretty similar to the ensemble mean of the European overall. There's some differences, but a lot of similarities there. So I think the best course of action right now is to kind of stick with the same scenario like the WPC has indicated, kind of go with continuity from some previous ideas of a Miller B type scenario. Something along those lines right there. And so we'll see. In terms of North Carolina wintry weather prospects, I'm not terribly excited about it. It'll depend on, let me go back to that previous chart right there. It's going to kind of depend on the depth of the cold air damming and how significant it is as this moves in. But still a lot of fluidity with this situation. We'll kind of see how it unfolds as we move forward in time. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.